Hey team, wanted to make a video just checking in on politics. Obviously, it's been already a very, very active term for Donald Trump, and it has been something else, just watching the commentary online, and seeing the news stories. It's looking a little bit scary to passive people, pacifists, people who don't believe in fear mongering, who don't believe in violence, who don't believe in hatred and pain, which I would hope are most people, just given what history has taught us, about war and just not just history, but all sorts of pop cultural references, of the bad in this world, the evil in this world, and trying to overcome it. But it's been pretty scary, with the Trump's undue force and or rather undue influence and ability to use force and violence as a means to an end, and being more permanent than other ends might be, like in the example of shooting drug boats, and he is sending military all over the United States to ensure that illegal people are leaving the country and everyone's being peaceful and stopping with violent protest and other illegal actions in that regard. And we do have a right to speak, to use our voices, and so that is what I am doing with you today. It's been a while since I've made a political video, but it is good to stay engaged and watch what is going on, especially right now, because of what Trump is proving that he's capable of all of his power moves that he is committing in order to move forward. Watching him speak at the UN and just seeing how it all plays out. We do have power. We are a very affluential country, and I think that it is what he is doing is calling on everyone to be less passive. He wants people to engage. The only problem is I feel like the general public we do not know how to do that. We can use our voices, and we can make videos, and we can work with nonprofits, but I think a lot of it oftentimes will stop just with saying something to someone else, or maybe not even that, just like acknowledging that it's happening and then moving on. And I know I've done that. I've watched the news, but I've got like however many jobs, and I've got school and things like that, or I've got whatever responsibilities. I've got other things that I'm doing right now, that politics, our governance, isn't my top priority. You presume that because we have our representatives and it's a hierarchy and it's a democracy, you're taken care of. But that's the thing about this term, is that's not the case. We do have inequality in Congress, and so they are able to pass the legislation and the orders that they want passed, and so representation is not feeling as representative as it could. But I feel like, if you've been watching politics, I've taken much more of a vested interest this time around, and watching them politic it seems kind of like a shit show. It seems like people just want to argue, or they want to look powerful in comparison to other people. It looks like they are trying hard to up their social media following, their following, versus actually like having the conversation and explaining to the American public what exactly is going on, presuming that they're probably not paying attention anyway, which is insulting and obviously true, because it's ridiculous watching people engage politically nowadays when it's just it's constant attacks of digs at credibility, as a character, as a human being, and so it's a tough climate to participate in, I would say, just especially where it is now, and so it's pretty rough, to watch, to try to engage. If you do want to try and engage, like, they're just gonna start ripping me apart, and I have felt that with some internet trolls in the past few years, but I think the moral is meant to be keep fighting, keep trying, and keep hoping to push forward those right initiatives, those good initiatives, trying to help people, trying to educate people, and trying to do the right thing, especially if you are of little means. I am openly just saying, because I was living out in a tent, I wasn't working, and I am broke as anything right now. And so I am still trying to move back into the real world, and there is a lot going on out there right now. There's a lot going on, and I feel like a lot of us are stuck in very small worlds. I will take turns in those small worlds, and it's tough to mitigate this overall picture, with everything that's going on, and how every little thing kind of works together to make that difference, versus, like, how do you tackle something so large? You have to do a lot of small first, and so it's just a unique political environment, a unique social environment, to do the right thing in the modern era, to get people to participate, to want to participate and do the right thing. Some might say it is a little bit of a popularity contest, which that's I'm not coming from that background. so but trying to set forth these values and that moral system is what we need to do, and we need to hold people accountable, and we need to hold our government accountable. And just watching it, we are failing so hard. And I was talking to my father today, and talking about that accountability and trying to maintain that integrity in the system and that accountability. And it does seem kind of like that popularity contest and the affluential feeding out the affluential, and I don't know if representation of us, how much of that goes into play, or if we are being manipulated by social mediums, just by all of the forces around us. Obviously, it's so easy to get distracted, and so easy to tune out on those overarching forces that we can't see, we can't feel, and all we get are these sound bites of kind of manipulative BS, through our news and through just everything. So it's how are we supposed to make that change, be that change, and try to be respectful, responsible citizens in our world today? It's really, really just tough. And like, I was talking to my father, and he said Trump has his coup. He's got his support system in place. There is no stopping him now. So then we have to call into question, what are his morals? What integrity is there, and what isn't there? And so it's all about accountability, and how do we hold him accountable when we don't know how to hold each other accountable, when we don't have the communication in place, we don't have the systems in place. So this is a huge wake-up call. It's so important to maintain and be engaged in this conversation and try to push the world forward. And so I get distracted too. I've got these different projects going, but we need to engage and we need to do it now. So he has the power, he has the affluence, and he's calling people out, calling people to the table, and saying, we are a global community. And what are we going to do about this? And he's flashing our cards around and our affluence, and he's governing, that's for stinking sure, and he's getting stuff done. Whether or not it's representative is the question. So we just want to try to figure out how to have our hands in this, and how to get that accountability and that integrity and our representation in this system. So that's why I make this video, just to talk it out, and to see if we need to form some sort of like community gatherings, community, you could, like marches, or protests, or just because how many people are out of the loop on what's going on, and how honest is he being in I feel like he's been seemingly very open book on his beliefs on what he wants, but I feel like there is definitely underarching or undertones of this is a plan. I feel like this is a plan, and it was a plan, and it's been a plan probably since his first presidency, when he was able to figure out where we were. And I feel like this is a manifestation of something that is crafted, and goodness knows what's going to happen, but we want to be prepared. We want to communicate with each other, because that is integral to trying to maintain justice and integrity in our system that we have today. So starting the conversation. This is a long video. I might have to cut it. That's part of it, is who's going to engage with this. Who's going to engage with what, graphics or long paragraphs, videos, and it comes in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. These political guys, let's check in on this. But it's so easy just to acknowledge it and carry on with your day. But we have to see if and when we can afford to do that, and now seems kind of like a pressing time to be mindful of that. So, wanting to check in on politics. What do you think about it?